Hello everyone. Today's topic is how to get all the SharePoint users within the sites and the subsites, right? In whichever group they are, we'll get the group output as well. So to do that, what we'll do here is we'll go to our SharePoint server. So I'll go to my So I have this on-premise environment setup in Windows Server 2012, on which I have a 2013 SharePoint on-premise server. The SQL server is also in here. Right. So if we go to the net, we'll get this as a script where you can get the distinct users for site as well as the subsite, right? So I've gone ahead, and so this is the script, right? Small script. It will iterate through all the groups, and within the groups it will get the users, and the output you will have the group name. In front of it you will have the username, right? So this is the script from the internet itself. Now go to, let's take one of our sites. So this is one of our sites, OnPremise 2. Let's put that site here. Okay, so that should do it. I've named it getuser.ps1, the notepad, and let's save it. Okay, before we run this, let's see the users within the groups that we have in this site. Alright, so the member group has my user, owners as the administrator, and visitors has no user. So we have two users in two separate groups, owners and members. In the members we have my user by my name Khalid Mahfouz, and in the full control we have the administrator user. Okay, so let's minimize this. This is the script. I've kept the script here right on the desktop. So let's open the PowerShell, SharePoint 2013 management shell. So you would have to run this on the same server, right, where so we would have to run this on the same server where our SharePoint is installed, SharePoint server, where the SQL and the content database, everything is there. Alright, so now let's go to where we have kept our script, cd desktop. Let's run the script. getuser.ps1. Okay, so as we can see, right, in the output we have from the members my user, and from the owners administrator. Only two users were there, so both the users have been pulled here. Now another way, if you want to get this information within Excel, what we can do is we can type this, then pipe, we will out file, and we will give a location. So under C I have a location files. Under that we'll name this file as output.csv. Now let's run this. So this is done. Okay, let's go to the location. So this is the file, and we can see the same information is been reflected here. So this is in the same column. column B does not have anything, C does not have anything. Within the same column you have the output, the group name followed by a dash, and the username is mentioned in there, right? So this is for one site we have got the output, right? Okay, so that was the output, the group name followed by a dash and the username within the same column. Now if so, there are three phases in this video that we are going to talk about. So this is the first one. You got all the users in the different group by the group name mentioned and the user mentioned in front of that, right? Now if the second requirement is that we want multiple sites, right? Not just one, we want multiple sites, all their output to be shown, right? So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to use the for each loop and iterate through all our sites, right? So let's modify this script. So I have different sites. What I have done here, I have created a CSV file. We can see here URL, and here is the on-prem site 2, on-prem. There is a subsite as well, just to check whether we are getting the subsite information or not. On-prem subsite 2 subsite, right? So this is a subsite on the on-prem site 2, and then there is a on-prem site 1 site collection, right? So 2 site collection and 1 subsite is there in our CSV file. In the script, now what we are going to do is we are going to import this CSV file. So import dash CSV, let's give the path. So where we have kept the file, that path will give, and the name of the file. So this is, we have now imported the file in the script. Now what we'll do, we have to iterate. So pipe for each object, so we will iterate through each of the objects, opening braces. So since we have opened a brace, we will also close those braces here. And in the site, what we are going to do, we are going to remove this one URL that we gave, and instead that URL has to come from the Excel file. So $_.URL, the heading of the Excel file, right? And $._ is to get those one by one from the Excel or the CSV file itself. Okay, so this will iterate through all the 3 sites, 2 site collection and 1 subsite that we have mentioned in our CSV file, and give the output, right? The group name dash followed by the username. Now let's run this one. Okay, so the same one, here. So now we've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 output we have got. Let's get this in the CSV file. So change the name, since already one file is there by the same name. Let's run it. We have our output here. Now let's check. So we have got on-prem 2 members. Under that we have already seen my user was there, and then in the owner administrator was there. Then the subsite member on system account is there. Then the subsite owner administrator is there. Then another user is there in subsite owner. So if multiple users are there, it will show you in different entries. Subsite owner had 2 users, one is administrator, other is the system account. And then the on-prem site 1, the other site collection, only had owners in that, one user by the name of administrator, right? So here I've specifically named the sites, and the group names are also like that, so it's easy to differentiate which group and which user from it's coming in, right? But we cannot filter and do anything. So now what we'll do, the third phase of this video will be that we want to get the output in a more systematic way, like the group name, username, and the site name within 3 different columns, so that we can filter with respect to those as well. So now let's go. So this same output, what we will do, we will make changes to our script so that the same output we can get in a more systematic way. Okay, so for each user's group name, so we won't get the output like this. We'll remove this one. Okay, so let's get the site first. So we'll take one variable, site URL, and in that we'll put or we'll just name it site, and in this we will keep our site, the one that we have iterated through, SPWeb. So we got our site. Similarly, we want site and we want the group, so let's go to the next one, group. Let's get the group. So group will be $group.name. okay, and the last one we want our user, so we'll keep the parameter as user is equals to $user.name. so we got our 3 variables. Now what we want to do is we want them to reflect in our CSV file. So for that, let's have one more parameter. I will name this parameter km. Okay, my initials. You can name this parameter anything. At right, so the first one we'll take will be site URL is equals to, we have put the site in $site. The next one is, we'll name this as group name, and this one will put as $group. Okay, now the last one is username, so let's put it as username, and we have kept it into $user. Right, let's close this one. Done. Okay, so next is we are going to get these parameters, new dash object ps object dash property dollar, we have put that into variable km, and this $temp will pipe it into our export.csv file, which we will output into the same folder files, and we'll name it output3.csv. Append all the results. Okay, so temp new object ps object, and then we gave a space and the property $km. Okay, previously the space was missing. Let's save this file. Our file name is, we are naming as output2, and append. Let's okay, so get user.ps1 Okay, so since we have put this as export c.file.output.csv append, right, we don't need that other pipe and get output file in CSV. This itself will generate the CSV for us, right? Now let's run this. Here we have our file. Let's open, and there we go. So we had 6 entries which were coming previously all together. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? And these are all, as we can see, in separate columns. So we have the username, the group name, and the site URL. Okay, let's delete this cell, and as you can see, now we can easily do filter on this. If we want to check on one particular site, we can do that as well. Here we go. So the subsite that we have user, on-prem, member has 1, owner has 1, and 1 system account is not under any group, right? And if we go for different on-prem site 2, we have 1 member and 1 administrator, which we initially checked. So we have our file in a proper format. Okay, the last site, let's check the last site as well. Okay, on-prem site, only 1 user in the owners group. On-prem site, now let me show you one more thing. If we want to get the output shown in this command prompt as well in the file, what we can do is we can write host $SPWeb, write host $group.name and write host $user.name. Let's run, and we have the output here as well as the same output showing in our file. So we have, if you see here, this is 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 output. All right, so I've ran the script one more time, and as you can see, on-prem site owners, we have 3 users. I've added 1 more user here. So this is on the main on-prem site, and on the sub side we have in the owners 2 users. Okay, and our output file, as you can see, on the main site 2 under the owner we have 3 names: administrator, Mahfuz, and on-prem user 1 under the on-prem owners group, and the same is reflected here, right? So in the group name it will only reflect the group name once, and under it all the users will be from that particular group. Similarly, on the subside you can see this 3 users: administrator, on-prem user 1, and system account, right? And the same is reflected here: administrator, on-prem user 1, system account is generally added, right? So this is it. This is how your script works, and in this video we have checked how So the different aspect we checked in this video were how to get the users with respect to the group in the sites, subsites, site collections, right? How to for a single site. Then we checked how to get the output and put that output in the Excel file, right, where we outfile and got that into the particular location that we wanted. Afterwards, we've checked on not just for a single site, we wanted to iterate through multiple sites, so we checked how to use the for each loop after importing that file, CSV file, which has all the URLs of the file of the site name, iterating through each the site with the help of for each loop. So instead of one site, we got multiple site output. The same output can be reflected in the Excel file as previously. If we wanted to, the third thing that we saw, if we wanted to modify that output so that it is coming in a proper way, then we can add this to our script, a parameter, so that the output comes, right, and we export it out through it, right. We can get the output. The fourth thing that we did in the script itself, if you want the output to reflect, you can write host, and these 3 lines are writing in the script itself. If you remove these 3 lines, you will not see in the command set itself the output. It will generate the output in the CSV file. Whichever is your requirement, based on that you can do that. So different aspect of the script that I'm telling here. So that was the fourth thing. Now one more thing, if you just do this, right, let me show you. We remove this, go back, and the parameter that we used, km, we run this, right. So let me show you what happens. Wait, we won't delete this. What we'll do instead is we'll get the output 3 so that we can compare, and let's run the output. Okay, see in the output here we can see that we have our administrator, the site, on-prem user 1, everything is reflected. When you go and check the output, you will have those 10 entries, right, 9 entries. But this will not be what you wanted. The different section that it is picking up and showing us, we do not want that. We want our output in this format, right, the 10 call the 10 rows in which 9 outputs. Instead we are getting this 10 rows and these are the 9 output, right. So this step is needed here so that it will give us the correct output. The properties will be put in the format that we want, right. That is it. That was the 5th thing for this video. Thank you everyone. I hope you enjoyed and learned the various aspects of the PowerShell with respect to the SharePoint. Have a good day. Bye bye.